Demonstration of some of the things you can do with my slow speed mandrels. I'm using a 1/8 to start, and I can see a quarter laying there in the back, a quarter inch. The 1/8 is for Dremel and Dremel type tools. The quarter is for Fordham and that sort of tool. I prefer actually to use them in the Fordham just because I can control the speed, and I think a little bit slower is better with these, but they work fine in the Dremel as well. So here I'm loading one of my contour sanders. I start by putting a washer on the mandrel between the chuck, or the collet, and the mandrel. Then I slid on a hard piece of rubber sleeve, and now I'm inserting the soft squishy rubber into the sleeves that I make. It then inserts onto the rubber mandrel, the screws put into it, and once it's tightened up, it's good to go. Then I'll show the same process for the Fordham style tool. I've got to take the original screws out of it first. Put the rubber tube on it first, because that's how far it goes into the collet. Then a washer, insert it into the collet, tighten up the collet. Again, same process. Put the soft squishy foam inside the sanding sleeve before you put it onto the tool. It goes on the tool. A bigger washer goes on top. Screws down, it squishes out the rubber so that it gives it a little bit of traction and doesn't spin very much on the tool. And there's a piece of drift that I'm preparing to carve for my next carving, and I just want to clean it all off. I'm starting off with a 120 grit paper in the Dremel, and I will move to a 240 grit in the Fordham, which you'll see. In the background you can see some of the other things that I use and are used on my mandrel. I've switched over to the Fordham and the 240 grit just to kind of clean things up. As you can see, you can use the end of the tool so it bends over the sandpaper, bends over the end and to the soft part to get into corners and to hollow almost with it. Yeah. Just cleaning it all up, getting it ready. Now I will just, I'll draw, and then I will carve what I've decided to put onto this piece of wood. This demonstrates how quick you can change from one tool to another. I went from a Dremel to the Dremel Advantage here. I put the same 1/8 bit in the Dremel Advantage. I'm going to do a little sanding with it. So again, that's the coarse, the 120 paper that I'm sanding with. It actually cleans the gray, the outside finish off of the wood very easily. You can shape with it. The coarser sandpapers, of course, shape better than the finer sandpapers. Fine sandpaper is good for cleaning up. Now I'm installing the sanding mandrel, or the slow speed mandrel, with several layers of sandpaper on it, and you can use it to get into cracks and crevices. It cleans up splits and slots pretty easy, and it can be used to just general sanding as well. You can see how it works its way into crevices and cracks and helps clean them up. Now I'm going to switch to the Scotch-Brite. I have Scotch-Brite Brown here on one of the mandrels, the same slow speed mandrels as I've been showing. And it just does a really good job of taking care of fuzzies, removing the fine little fluffs that are left with your burrs and your carving tools. It actually is a very, very fine sandpaper finish when you're done. And again, of course, it'll go into crevices and cracks and indentations and all those kind of things. You could do the bowl of a spoon with it, that sort of thing. And now I'm going to change to my tiny little fly cutter. It's a 1/2 inch square fly cutter mounted on the same mandrel, and it's really good for cutting very thin, fine lines. For instance, beard hairs and any separation you want to do, you can cut with it. Mind you, it'll only cut about 3/16 of an inch deep before the screw in the mandrel actually touches the surface of the wood. It is, you can easily make them by hand. I have a video about that. And you can sharpen them with a file. Very easy, just give a touch on all 4 sides and you're good to go again. So it's a really handy tool as well. So thanks for watching.